Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here tonight. As always, if you are new here, welcome. And if you are not new here, welcome back. I apologize because I have been really out of the loop with my scheduling. I am so sorry. I'm trying to fit readings in when I can. Sometimes I have a space for a reading, but I also do private readings. So sometimes it's either private or YouTube, and so I'm kind of juggling that a little bit. And also, if you are interested in a private tarot reading, please reach out to me via email. I will have all the information, my email, as well as the information as to how the reading works in the description box. All you have to do is email me. We can set it up. Turnaround time is within a couple of days or less. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, please let me know and we can set that up. All right, so tonight's reading is going to be on Bethany Funke, and that is one of the surviving roommates of the Idaho murder victims. And a lot has come out recently. There's been some things that are flying around in the YouTube streets here recently about things that she may or may not have heard or said. And one of those things, the major thing is that apparently it's been reported that she's seen a naked man running away or running from the sliding glass door from the home at 1122 King Road that night. And that is kind of shocking everybody because it was not in the affidavit. There was nothing to indicate that she had seen anything like that. We don't know really. Is this just something that this article, because I believe it came originally from an article. I should have written down the source because I don't know. I'm not sure the source, but that is what's going around. However, apparently Bethany's room was on the first floor. So that would be, I think of that as the basement level. So I think of it as the basement level, the main level, and then the second story level, but it's the first floor. Okay. So her bedroom is apparently down on the first floor, and the sliding glass door that she or everyone is referring to is on the main floor or the second floor. So a lot of people are asking this question. Well, we were led to believe that she was in her bedroom as well as Dylan. And so if she was in her bedroom, how would she have been able to see somebody leave the sliding glass door? It's possible, I guess. I'm sure, I would imagine that her bedroom may have a window. So, could she have heard something and peeked out her window and seen something? So I don't know, but like I said, the affidavit does not include anything like that. However, I did look up the latest information just now, and she was also, I guess they were trying to subpoena her to come, or she's actually, let me back up a little bit, she's actually living in Nevada right now. I personally believe that she went back to Nevada because I'm assuming where her family is. That's what everybody is saying, is that her family is there. So she probably wanted to be close to her family after surviving this situation. I don't blame her. If I were her parents, I would want her back home as well. So she is residing in Nevada, but there was a subpoena, or there was going to be a subpoena to bring her to court because the defense, Brian Kohlberger's defense, felt that she had exculpatory evidence for the defense team. So she was, or her legal team was trying to fight that. Okay, so she did not want to return to Idaho. And it's, I don't know anything about law. I'm not a lawyer or anything, but I did read just now. It says Bethany Funke, the roommate of the Idaho murder victims, previously spoke with police about the case, and she is now expected to meet with suspect Brian Kohlberger's legal team in the coming weeks. On Wednesday, lawyers for Funke filed a court document agreeing. Okay, so this is the new information, agreeing to sit down for an interview with Kohlberger's defense team in Nevada, where she currently resides. So it sounds like they have come to a compromise. It doesn't sound like she's going to have to go to Idaho, but it does sound like she is going to meet with Kohlberger's defense team, and I would imagine her lawyers are going to be there as well. It says the agreement by Funke came shortly after Kohlberger's defense team attempted to force her to testify in the case's preliminary trial, claiming that she had information exculpatory to the defendant. So, and then the rest is just pretty much information that we already know. It talks about Brian Kohlberger's arrest in December, the charges. So I thought that that was interesting, and I'm glad that at the very least they didn't make her return to Idaho. And they're at least meeting her halfway and going to Nevada, it sounds like. So what tonight's reading is going to be about, first I want to pull on her current energy and just kind of see what is going on with her. And I want to ask, did she see or hear anything that night? And if she did, what could it be? And then anything else that comes out as well. I did do a reading on Dylan a while back, probably a couple of months back, and I did want to do a reading on Bethany, and so now I think is a really good time to bring up Bethany, because for the longest time we didn't hear anything about Bethany. And so now it's just kind of like, wow. So what is this? What is this story of her seeing this naked man running away from the sliding glass door? Is that just something that was made up and thrown out there to, for whatever, or did she say something to that effect? So first and foremost, let's just pull on current energy for Bethany. All right, what's the current energy for Bethany Funke right now? What's the current energy for Bethany Funke? What's happening? What's happening with Bethany? What is going on with Bethany right now? Okay. All right, what's going on with Bethany Funke right now? How is she feeling at this time? What's going on in her mind? What's happening here? All right, so we have the Page of Wands. See here. I think with the Page of Wands, I do feel like this is just the beginning of Bethany's story. This is not the last we've heard of Bethany, okay? So that almost makes me feel like there is something that she may have said, and you know what? When you think about it, it might be perhaps what she didn't see or observe. Maybe she didn't see anything, and maybe that contradicts with something that someone else said. But I do feel like with that card, she is kind of at the beginning of this journey, and she's got some obstacles that she's going to have to overcome. And then let's see we've got communication. That again makes me feel like that makes me feel like the opposite of what I just said, that perhaps there wasn't anything that she's seen, and so they were going to use that somehow. But the Eight of Wands makes me feel like there was something that she said, not necessarily heard, but I feel like there was something that she said or reported, and it has piqued the interest of the defense team. Okay, so current energy with this as well is that there's a lot of communication going on, I think, with her attorneys, and trying to figure out what she has to do, what she can get out of doing. Obviously, she did not want to go to Idaho. I don't blame her. But they are scrambling right now. I think that is her family, and attorneys right there communicating. They're trying to figure out what to do. Look at all these wands. That's fire energy. So I really do feel like she is stressing. Okay, she is definitely stressed. She's never went through anything like this. I mean, not a lot of us have. And so this is really, okay, let me see here. We've got the Star card. Six of Wands. We have another Wands. We have the Four of Cups reversed, and we have the King of Pentacles. Okay. So I can't help but to look at that Six of Wands and think there could be something really important that she does have, because that's the star of the show, okay? Everybody's watching her right now. Everybody's paying attention to her. That's us. That's all of us on the outside of her riding in that horse. But I can't help but get to feeling, I can't help but to feel that I don't necessarily get a vibe that this information is going to help Brian Kohlberger. Okay, I just feel like she has really important information. And everybody's keeping their eye on her. We're all listening. We're all paying attention. That's what the star card is as well. Everybody's paying attention to her right now. I feel like the defense team is really focusing in on her for some reason. There's something that they feel like she has. So I do feel like she has something, and I think that she has said something. She has reported something, to the police, and why it wasn't in the original affidavit, because it doesn't seem, from what I've watched on different shows or on different YouTube channels, people have went through that affidavit line by line by line, and there really doesn't show anything. It doesn't look like there's anything that's been redacted. So perhaps maybe they had put her statements in and then took it out before they released it to the public. It doesn't appear to be so. So if she did say something or report something to the police, why wasn't it in that affidavit? I don't know. But I do feel like there is something, and you know what? Perhaps she has said something after the fact. That's a possibility too, because I'm looking at the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Wands. I'm looking at these two here. And then the star card, sometimes I look at that as people. Okay, those stars to me represent people as well. And it's a lot of people. Has she said something to people? Has she said something that she didn't realize had any kind of impact whatsoever, and it has gotten around? Because I see a lot of communication here, and I see a lot of people. So there's something here. There's something here, and that would also explain. I don't know how the legal system works, so I don't know if she were to, say something, about that night to someone, and it gets back to, a law team or the lawyers or somebody that, whatever, and it gets around. Would they then call her for something like this? Because I'm almost getting that feeling, if anything. It's almost like has she been remembering things, maybe? Are things coming back to her? Maybe she just didn't think about it at that time. Maybe now we're, several months later, and all of a sudden she's like, wait a minute, okay, I did hear this, or I did see that. That's kind of where I'm headed here. Now that it is out, all right, now that it's out, there's some regret. There's some, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to have any part, of this. And that's that Four of Cups reversed. Okay. And so I wouldn't be surprised if there's been, first of all, that offer. I don't think that she's happy. She's definitely happy that she doesn't have to go to, Idaho. See, hold on a second. Let me check this let me read this really quick. All right, so she's definitely happy that she doesn't have to return to Idaho, but she's not happy with still meeting with the law team or his defense team in Nevada either. Okay, so it's kind of like it was a little bit of a leeway for her, but she's there's still that hesitancy that she just doesn't want to communicate. But I feel like whatever she has said, she said it to different people, and it's too late now. It's out there. So that's the Four of Cups. Also, and the reason why I say that she's not happy with it is because I feel like that cup there that's being offered to her, that's what we just read tonight, that they're going to fly to Nevada to meet with her. Okay, so she's agreed to that, but she didn't want to. Okay, so that's what that card is. Now, the King of Pentacles, let me pull a clarity card on that, because To be honest with you, I feel like it could be either a father or a lawyer. I kind of am leaning towards this being one of her lawyers or the lawyer. I don't know how many lawyers she has, but this could be the person that's kind of advising her and saying, yeah, I know you don't want to do this, but you know, you're probably going to have to do this. Be happy that they're coming here and they're not making you go to Idaho. So let's just do this and get it over with. That's kind of the way I'm feeling. Let me pull one more card here to clarify this King of Pentacles. Who's the King of Pentacles? Ah, the Devil. Wow. The Knight of Cups. Interesting. We've got 3 cards here. 2 major arcanas. We've got the Devil card and we've got the High Priestess. Very interesting. She knows something. She knows something. Something's going on here. She knows something. Now, I don't know if... Hold on. Let me keep these out. And let me keep this out. Okay. What happened that night with Bethany? Where was Bethany that night? Where was Bethany that night? Where was Bethany Funke in the house that night of the murders? We've got the Knight of Wands reversed. We've got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. We have the Two of Swords reversed, and we have Temperance reversed. So there's definitely something going on here. This Knight of Wands, for me personally, is a sloppy card. This is somebody who thought they had everything under control, but they did not. Okay, and they just left a mess, really. Thought that they were prepared to do something, and they were not. Okay, so who's that coming out for? Is that coming out for Bethany? We've got that Knight of Cups as well. So we've got... I look at these 2 cards as somebody thinking they have something under control and then going into the situation and realizing that they had nothing. They had nothing under control, like they imagined. Everything that could have went wrong, went wrong. Okay, now they're stuck with trying to figure out how the hell to get out of this situation. I didn't see this coming. Wow, this just really messed up everything. This messed up everything. My whole world is flipped upside down. How am I going to deal with this? What I thought was going to be an easy situation, I was going to get in and get out, it didn't work out. Okay, so why is that coming up for Bethany? Because that's how I read these 5 cards. And then with Bethany, we've also got the Devil card and we've got that High Priestess. The High Priestess makes me feel like she knows something. Okay, that's a knowing card. Okay. So what does Bethany know? What does Bethany know? Let me pull these out of the way. What does Bethany know? What did Bethany see or hear that night? What did Bethany see or hear that night? Seven of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Emperor, 5 of Cups, the Ace of Cups. Seven of Pentacles, there's some cards here. The 7 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups reversed make me almost feel like there's some shame, there's some regret, okay? She could also be dealing with, which would be completely understandable, her emotions are all over the place, all right? This has really taken a toll on her. It has really taken a toll on her emotionally. I wouldn't be surprised if she is struggling with bouts of depression, because that 5 of Cups can sometimes represent that. And then I've got that Ace of Cups reversed, so that's just literally like her spirit draining from her. So this has really drained her. But there's something here that's an undertone of something deeper. This one here is somewhat of a disappointment, regret even. That's regret. Is there something that she's seen that night or heard that night and she didn't report it, and she reported it, or she has said something to somebody after the fact and now it has gotten back to the legal team and she's kind of under fire and she's just like, wow, why did I do this? Why didn't I say this in the beginning? That's kind of where I feel like the cards are taking me. Okay. There could also be some regret of, why didn't I do this instead? Why didn't I report? Because there's something here with these two cards, with that King of Swords reversed and the Emperor reversed. That to me is the perpetrator. Okay, whether it's Brian or someone else. Potentially, it could even be two people, actually, the way I'm looking at these two. But this is the perpetrator or perpetrators. And I do believe from my past reading that Brian is very much guilty. And I felt like he did this alone. But, you know, I will ask that again. But I feel like this is the perpetrator right here. So there's something here that she did see that night or hear. Okay, so let's see if we can get, well, let me switch decks. That Devil card really bothers me though. And, it doesn't mean that, the Devil card doesn't necessarily mean that she had anything to do. I'm not saying that at all. It could very well just be that there's information that she has held or kept quiet on, and for whatever reason, maybe she was scared, I don't know, maybe she forgot about it, maybe she didn't think it meant anything, and there is that guilt that is just draining her. Okay, so it could be just that, but I want to keep going and see if we can get more information on what specifically she's seen. Well, let me ask this. Did she see the killer or killers? Did she see the killer or killers that night in the house? Did Bethany see the killer or killers in the house? So we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. All right, did Bethany see the killer or killers in the house that night? Did Bethany see the killer or killers in the house that night? Let me take this one that's sticking out. Oh, gosh. We have the King of Cups reversed. Oops. Dropping them all. We have the Lover's card. The Page of Pentacles. We have that Four of Cups again. It's interesting that the Lover's card is coming out, because when I seen that Knight of Cups earlier next to the Knight of Wands, I kind of blended it in with those cards and just kind of took it a different route. But thinking back on the Knight of Cups and then now the Lover's card coming out, it is making me wonder if there's something here going on. Did she have a visitor that night? Was she, seeing somebody, a boyfriend, or, something like that? Was there somebody there that we're not aware of? Was there another person in that house? And that is something that she is not wanting to say, because that and the Knight of Cups. It just kind of made me, there's something here, okay, with that Lover's card. That's actually where my mind is going. Could she have information? Could she have been with someone that night, but for whatever reason, doesn't want to share that information, doesn't want to put that out there? Okay, and there is an extreme amount of guilt for that. There's guilt for something. There's regret and there's guilt for something. Not saying that it's that, but that's just something that I'm putting out there based on two cards that I'm seeing, that there's something here with a relationship with someone. Again, we have that Four of Cups and that King of Cups. The King of Cups to me is that's the person responsible, or at least one of the people responsible. I feel like it's the person. And that is somebody that is, that King of Cups is, when it's reversed, that would really kind of meet, I think, the personality traits of Brian Kohlberger, and just sometimes can be hot and cold and flip for no reason. And emotions are just all over the place. Nine of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. All right. What did she see that night? What did Bethany see that night? What did Bethany see that night? Yeah, Nine of Wands reversed. She definitely, she definitely wasn't sleeping. She was not sleeping. She wasn't sleeping. And then we have the Moon card. She wasn't sleeping that night, and I don't think she sleeps very well now. Okay, so there's something here with Bethany. Yeah, we've got that regret. We've got the Five of Cups again. We've got depression. We've got shame. We've got regret. She has some information. There's something that she knows, and I don't know why she didn't report it, because I don't feel like she reported it in the beginning, but she has something. I do feel like, how I have said from the beginning of this read, that she has talked about it with other people, and it has gotten back to perhaps Brian Kohlberger's defense team, and that is what is pulling her into the story now. I don't actually feel like she said anything to the police that night. There's something that I feel like she's hiding her own self. Not necessarily hiding anything to, help Brian Kohlberger or whoever is responsible. It's something on a personal level, okay? She's hiding something on a personal level, and it's just one of those things where it just happened to happen, okay? It happened to be bad luck. That's that Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune reverse. Something happened that night, and it happened to be on a night where it couldn't have been a worse night in regards to her situation. Obviously, it was a worse night for her roommate. So, I just, yeah, there's something here going on. And could it be a lover? Could it be a friend or a boyfriend or somebody that she was seeing, a one-night stand? I don't know. There's something that she's hiding, and she's embarrassed. Or she's embarrassed, or she maybe isn't embarrassed but doesn't want somebody to know. I don't know, but there's something here, and she's told the wrong person. She's told the wrong person, and she's embarrassed now that it's coming out and that everybody is going to learn about it. We've got the Three of Pentacles. We've got that Star card again. Strength card reversed. Nine of Wands. She wasn't honest. There's been some, yeah, Queen of Cups. When I look at these cards, I almost feel like, because earlier I made the statement that maybe she forgot something, or maybe, maybe she was so scared that she, it just slipped her mind, or, maybe she didn't know she had pertinent information and so she didn't mention it. This actually makes me lean towards, she knew she seen something. She knew she didn't report it. There's something that she did or didn't do, and she shouldn't have done that. And she feels absolutely guilt-ridden over it. And this is something that she's tried desperately to keep secret, but it hasn't worked, and it's come out now. So that's where I'm at with Bethany. And it's possible that Dylan is in the same category because of the Three of Pentacles. But who's the third person? Who's that third person? Okay. We've got Dylan, we've got Bethany. So who's the third person that we don't have information on? Who else was there that night that we don't know about? Because that's kind of where I'm leaning. Who's the lovers? Who's the Knight of Cups? All right, let me go ahead and ask if... Let me go ahead and ask if she did see somebody leave the house that night. Did Bethany see someone leave the house that night? Did Bethany see someone leave the house that night? Let me take that one. Oh, wow. Look at that. Somebody's walking away. Look at that. Somebody's walking away. It's very possible she's seen the back of someone or seen somebody leaving. We've got a person leaving here. That couldn't have been a stronger yes answer to my question had I looked through the card digging for one to fit. I mean, that to me is, that's scary. But this person is fully clothed, right? I mean, we don't have to look at the image. We don't have to take that for everything, right? I mean, this person still could have been, naked. That's a possibility. But there is somebody, I feel like, that she's seen walking away at night. That's her. That's her in the moon, right? She pulled the moon card as well. That's the secret. That moon card represents something that's hidden under the cover of darkness. That's her right there. So she's looking down. She does see somebody, okay? She sees somebody walking away. I don't know if she's seen enough of them to be able to identify them. Maybe the description doesn't match Brian Kohlberger. Maybe that's why the defense is calling her. I don't know. Maybe she's seen somebody and it just doesn't meet up with what Dylan seen or reported. Something's amiss. Something's not right here. Something's wrong because we've got a cup here that looks, we're not missing a cup, but it looks like there's a cup missing. So we're not seeing something. There's more to this story than meets the eye, which I feel like we all kind of suspected that anyways. But there's something here that I feel like Dylan and Bethany both know, and potentially another person as well. All right, so let me go ahead. This is the Arcanum deck. And I want to bring Dylan into this read now and just see what comes up with both Dylan and Bethany. So I'm going to pull a couple of cards first on Dylan, and then I'm going to pull a couple more on Bethany and see what we have with the two together. All right. And sometimes you guys will ask me, this deck here that I was just using is the Heaven and Earth Tarot deck. And then this one here is the Arcanum. All right, so what's going on with Dylan? What's happening with Dylan? All right, what did Dylan see that night? What did Dylan see that night? What's going on with Dylan? Okay, what's going on with Dylan? So we've got the Two of Cups, so we've got a relationship still coming. So a relationship is appearing in this read tonight. There's something going on. Now, the Two of Cups, let's take out the relationship. Let's just say that this is a strong friendship. Let's say that this is a bond between two people. Maybe this is an agreement between two people. Maybe this is two people talking and figuring out what the hell they're going to do all night long. What did they just hear? What did they just see? It could be that, right? And it could be coming out reversed because the solution perhaps wasn't the right one. But why? All right. And it could also be that relationship. So let me keep pulling. What's going on with Dylan? What's going on with Dylan? What happened that night with Dylan? Four of Swords. Okay, so tired. She was tired. The Tower card. The Three of Wands. Six of Cups. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups keeps coming up. All right, so I wonder how long, I don't know all of the information, the backstories on all of the roommates, but I wonder if Dylan and Bethany have known each other for a long time. Did they just meet in college? There's something here that's coming out with that Six of Cups that just made me question that. So if anybody knows, I would be curious. If they are childhood friends, perhaps. The Tower card, that's the event, okay? So the fact that it's coming up in Dylan's read does make me now question, did she know what happened that night? And if she did know what happened that night, why wasn't 911 called earlier? Okay, what happened? What happened in those 8 hours? Because it does to me look like she was sleeping, or she was tired. She was trying to sleep. All the, stuff is going on upstairs or out, and, she hears something, right? She hears something. She knows something's going on. And then the Three of Wands, I'm pulling threes. Okay, I've got the Three of Wands, I've got the Three of Pentacles, I've got these hints of a relationship or a third-party person. I can't help but to feel like somebody else was there. Someone else was there, perhaps with Bethany or Dylan or both of them, but there was somebody else in the house besides the perpetrator and besides the 4 roommates who lost their lives. Somebody else was in that home. I can't help but to think that. The Six of Cups, the Knight of Cups. But yeah, let me know if anybody knows if Bethany and Dylan are longtime friends, maybe. Okay. Let me see here. All right, so why wasn't... If they did hear or see something, if Dylan or Bethany did hear or see something, why didn't they call 911? Why didn't they call for help? Why didn't they call for help? Work. 8 of Pentacles. The Chariot card reversed. Ugh. The 8 of Cups. The Hermit. The Fool. The King of Swords. That King of Swords to me is the third person. I would guess that the third person is a male. So I don't know who that third person was there for, if it was Dylan or Bethany, or both, maybe. But there was and I'm leaning towards Bethany, to be honest with you, because that 4 of Swords tells me that Dylan probably was tired and she probably was trying to sleep. Doesn't mean that she couldn't have had a guest. But I'm kind of just... what has come out tonight, I feel like I'm leaning towards Bethany. So why wasn't 911 called? I do feel like it was just, with that Fool card, it's almost like it was just a very, I don't want... Hold on, let me look at this for a second, because that 8 of Pentacles is bothering me. The 8 of Pentacles and the Chariot card, they're bothering me. That 8 of Pentacles is a work card. That's a focus. That's trying to figure out what the hell you're going to do. What were they focusing on? What were they working? Why were they working? What was there to work on, right? They were supposedly in bed sleeping. So what is a working card coming out for? And then we've got the Chariot, okay? So we've got movement, but no movement. So they're kind of stuck. They're trying to figure out what to do. Is it because they're scared? Is it because they don't know what's going on? They heard crazy noises, and so they stay in their room until it gets bright out. But then again, apparently 911 wasn't called until early afternoon, like around noon. It was, November, so it probably gets light out around 8, I would imagine. So, it just, or why not call somebody over? Did they call somebody over? Did one of them call somebody over after hearing something? I don't feel like that. I feel like somebody was there. I feel like this third-party person was there. There's something about wanting to leave and not being able to leave. Wanting to leave, wanting to get out of there, and not being able to. Trying to figure out how to get out of there. Being stuck. being stuck there. I'm stuck there. I can't leave. Why can't I leave? Why not call 911? Why not call the police? The Eight of Cups, walking away again. Seeing somebody walk away. Walking away, seeing somebody leave. It's also a woman. The Hermit card. The Fool card, the King of Swords. Like I said, that's the third person. What were they doing for the 8 hours? What were they doing for 8 hours? What was Bethany and Dylan doing for those 8 hours after the murders? What happened after those murders? What were they doing for those 8 hours? King of Wands, Queen of Cups, the Death card reversed, Three of Cups, lots of threes, Nine of Pentacles, that's come out a couple of times, Two of Wands, let me keep pulling here, Six of Swords, Nine of Wands, that Death card. It's like they were working, they were doing something, they were trying to figure out what to do. Planning, trying to leave, wanting to leave. Look at these two cards here. We've got the Eight of Cups and we've got the Six of Swords. And then we've got that Chariot card. So we've got some movement here. We've got movement. There's action being taken. There's planning, there's work, there's something here going on that happened in those 8 hours. It wasn't just we slept through and we didn't get up until noon and we woke up and we seen that. There's a lot of activity going on in the house in those 8 hours. It's not just sleep. In fact, there's no sleep. There's no sleep coming out here in this read tonight. There's just stress, planning, working, doing, trying to figure out, but not figuring out, trying to figure out what to do and maybe doing the wrong thing. But why? Why? What was this for? Why were they doing this? Could it be that they just, let me see, let me, why all the activity? What were they doing? What was going on? What were they doing in the house? What were they doing in the house? What were they doing in the house? World card, that's completion. That's tying up all loose ends. That's how I see the World card. It's a complete circle, right? You're coming full circle. We've got the Hierophant, the Seven of Wands, the Page of Cups, Five of Swords. With the star cards that have come out, because I do sometimes look at the star card as a bunch of people, okay? It almost makes me feel like there was that third person there, but then other people perhaps. I'm wondering about that Hierophant. I can't help but to feel like they reached out to somebody. I would be really curious to know if I wouldn't have no doubt that the cops know every phone call, if there was any phone call made from either one of their cell phones, to who it was to and what time, because I do feel like one of them reached out to someone, if not multiple people. The Hierophant is guidance. The Hermit is guidance. Usually the Hermit is yourself seeking guidance through whatever means. It's more of a solitary card, but I can't help but to think that one of them called somebody or reached out to somebody and was like, look, something happened here. Get over here. I don't know what's going on. And I can't help but to feel that there's something else, that one of them, either Dylan or Bethany, was doing something that night that they know they shouldn't have been doing. Okay, whether it's illegal, whether it's immoral, I don't know, unethical, I don't know, whatever it is, that played a huge role in why they did not report anything. And that, I think, is coming out. And something like that, I think the defense team would absolutely love to catch, because that could literally blow a hole through the whole thing. Maybe or maybe not, right? If he's still guilty and they have enough evidence to put him away, regardless of whether or not Dylan or Bethany, didn't report or did report, or I don't know, but it could potentially make a huge impact on the case, right? And that's what I feel is happening here. There's something here that they have kept secret. The Seven of Wands, the Five of Swords, that's like a group. That's a group of people trying to figure out what the hell to do and how to fix this. What are we going to do? I don't think that there was anything that they were necessarily doing as far as cleaning up, because you would think that police would recognize if somebody was trying to clean up something or, move something. There would be footprints, I would imagine. But there was something there. There was something there that they wanted to keep secret, or Okay. Can we get some more detailed information on, because I feel like there's a secret. It's like a secret. Can I get some more information on this secret, or this information that's not wanting to come out? But it's going to come out. The Moon card has come out now twice, so it's going to come out, or once. The Emperor. How many times has the Emperor come out in tonight's read? Like 3 times. The Hanged Man, the Two of Pentacles reversed, and the Four of Cups reversed. So this is a night of like repeater cards. These 2 cards right here are just like an impasse. All right, so what's the secret? What's the secret? I don't know who the Emperor is. To me, these 2 cards in regards to that night is wasting time. That's wasting time. We've got the Hanged Man and we have the Two of Pentacles. So these are cards of no movement, not going forward, not going backward. You're just there. It's a stalling. So that makes me think back to the reversed Chariot as well. It's like a stalling. It's like there was no movement. It's like there was activity going on, but that activity could have just been them sitting in their rooms talking about whatever it was that they were going to do, or trying to figure out how they were going to report this, or waiting for somebody to leave. Maybe somebody was trying to get out of there. Maybe they wanted to make sure that they had all, I don't, for whatever reason, whatever it was that one of them or both of them were up to, I feel like that played a huge role in why they didn't call. And there is huge, like I said, there's huge regret and shame because of that. Four of Cups. So, that's just pretty much... Who's the Emperor? Because the Emperor has come out quite a few times now. So the Emperor would be the person that is calling the shots. So whoever they called, could be somebody older, okay? But this is somebody that they called and reached out to, and this person is guiding them on what to do. Who's the Emperor? Who's the Emperor? Okay, let's give us some information on the Emperor. Is this a friend? Is it a police officer? Is it a professor? Is it a parent? Is it a relative? Who is this? Page of Wands. I feel like it's still a younger person. It's someone in their age range. The Ten of Swords reversed. The Knight of Swords. So he kind of sees himself as their knight in shining armor. He's going to save the day. He's going to come in and tell them what they need to do and what they're going to say and what they're not going to say. And this person thinks that he has all of the best advice in the world, but it has come back to bite them in the rear end. And it just, it's just... Yeah, Five of Cups. So it ended up, I think that the Emperor is somebody, even though I usually look at the Emperor as somebody slightly older, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It can just be the person, the dominant person in a group. So if they have a friend circle, a social circle, this is the person that, that's the dominant alpha male, so to speak, that kind of runs everything, and everybody listens to this person and they value his or her, but I think it's a male. They value his advice, okay, but he doesn't always have the best advice, because I feel like the advice that they gave or he gave to them resulted in this Five of Cups. And this Five of Cups has come out, 3 times now? Okay, so... it's just, it's weird. It's very weird. All right, so let me just pull one more card here, and I want to pull on, let me see. This one here is my Lo Scarabeo deck, and I just want to pull on the outcome of this meeting. All right, so... what's going to be the outcome of this meeting between Bethany and Kohlberger's defense team? What's going to be the outcome of this meeting between Bethany and Kohlberger's defense team? Queen of Cups. All right, so that Queen of Cups to me is Bethany, and I feel like she is trying to go in there, as calm and collected as possible, and trying to, at least on all of the outside appearances, that's the image that she's trying to present, that I'm here to help, that these are my friends. And I'm not saying anything negative. I'm not trying to say anything negative about Bethany. I just feel like she is going to be on her best behavior, right? She's going to be on her best behavior. And I think that is expected. I think all of us would probably be on our best behavior and putting our best face forward if we were in those circumstances. So that's what she's going in on. And I feel like she is doing that because she thinks that is going to help. But it is not. They don't care, right? This is the defense team. This is a huge case. They're going to see if there's anything there that's disingenuous, or, they feel like it's a show or it's a facade. They're going to be able to see right through that. And they're going to literally tear a hole through that whole thing. Okay. So I'm looking at the hole or the doorway behind the Fool. And I feel like these 2 cards here are Bethany. So she's going in with that frame of mind, and I think that she thinks, or she believes, that she is going to be able to kind of talk her way out of this situation, or her lawyers are going to be able to talk her way out of this situation. But it just isn't going to work. So I don't think that this meeting is going to go in her favor, whatever that means. Whether it is, she doesn't want to help Kohlberger. Maybe there's something that hold on a second. Do I have a card? I'm going to take that one. Maybe there's something there that, would help Kohlberger. And maybe it's just that. Maybe she doesn't, or maybe it's shame. I think it's a little bit of shame as well. I think it's actually more shame and embarrassment and guilt for not coming forward with this potential information earlier. than anything. Okay, in all honesty, because, and I say that because of how many times that Four of Cups and that Five of Cups came out, even that Nine of Swords reversed. That's the dominant feeling coming out around Bethany. Okay, we have the Empress. We also have the Seven of Wands again, so defensive. Okay, I believe that they're going to put her on the defensive. She is going to go in there really strong, and it's just going to kind of fall apart as she goes on. The Empress there, interesting that we have two feminine cards coming out that could be connected. It might have nothing to do with it. Personally, I'm looking at the number 3. Okay, that's what I'm looking at with the Empress. Not so much the Empress itself, but that number 3. Okay, so I feel like there's a third party that is going to become really important in this case, and it's somebody that we don't know about or we haven't heard about yet. Okay, and I really do think that this could really kind of just stir everything up all crazy. We got the Eight of Pentacles again, and we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So let me see, the Knight of Pentacles reversed. I feel like that's the person. That's that third party person. And the Eight of Pentacles, that work card. Yeah. I don't think it's going to come out really good. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what does come out if we hear. But it's not going to be in her favor, whatever that means. Like I said, whatever that means, I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there because I'm not really getting specific information on what this is. I'm getting little bits and pieces, and that's just how it is. You don't know what's going to come out. You don't know how the information is going to come out. But I feel like main points is that there is information that Bethany does have. You know, whether it helps Brian Kohlberger, I don't know. Whether it helps or hurts, I don't know. But just the fact that there's information that could have been reported and perhaps maybe allegedly wasn't, that could really be a problem. And I could see the defense really seizing that opportunity, right? It could be just something as simple as, you know, a small error like that, or something like that just blows this whole case up. And not in a good way for people who want justice, right? So it could be something like that. It could be a technical error or whatever. I don't know. But there's a third party person. There was somebody else I feel like was called. Possibly somebody was there when it took place, when the murders took place, or somebody was contacted to come over after the fact. But those two Eight of Cups cards with someone walking away makes me really question, did Bethany actually see somebody leave that house? Maybe, yeah. You know, it's a tarot reading, so it's up for interpretation. I'm not saying that she's seen anybody at all 100%, but there were cards there that made me think that there could be something to this. There could absolutely be something to this. And I think it is going to all come out, and it's going to be kind of like a jaw drop type moment when we hear everything that went on in those 8 hours, because I don't think that those girls were just sleeping. Were they scared? Absolutely. But they also were busy. They were busy doing something, doing things. And that doesn't make sense. So what were they doing? What were those pentacles? What do the pentacles represent? So that's where we're at. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys really soon. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.